Hi, my name is Tyler, and we're going to be talking about the healthcare in Honduras.
Some key information about the healthcare systems in Honduras is that the healthcare system is made up of private and public sectors. The private sector encompasses for-profit business and nonprofit organizations. Within the public sector, it includes the Honduran Institute of Social Security and the Ministry of Health, which is what serves most of their population. Even with the Ministry of Health providing care to about 90% of the population, it is very difficult for the more rural areas of the country to get adequate care. With most of the country living in poverty, it provides yet another barrier towards quality care. The country is also in a healthcare crisis at the moment due to poor government leadership and management and a bad human resource administration. This crisis has led to about 9 out of 10 citizens uninsured and about 18% of the population with no access to healthcare at all.
As of 2015, Honduras has operated on the National Health Model. Through the National Health Model, healthcare services are paid for through taxes. Other countries that use this system include the United Kingdom, Sweden, and New Zealand. As mentioned before, nearly 20% of Honduran citizens are left without access to care. There's also an extreme provider shortage. For every 1,000 people, there's less than one provider available. Even if someone is able to afford care, they may not be able to access a provider.
The education and training of medical professionals in Honduras is very different compared to the United States. In order to become a doctor, someone must complete a 6-year undergraduate term and then work for 3 years afterwards. Once that is complete, they must take a final exam in order to become a fully licensed doctor. There's a very large shortage of doctors in Honduras, which affects the availability of care. For every 1,000 people, there are approximately 0.37 physicians available.
Healthcare in Honduras is heavily influenced by their culture. Christianity is very prevalent in Honduras, specifically Roman Catholicism. Many residents there turn to prayers for healing rather than going to the hospital or seeking traditional treatment like we would here. Alternative medications are also often used, such as herbal remedies and anything natural. Illnesses are not believed to be contracted because of sins like in other countries, but many people do believe prayers are the main source of healing rather than just healthcare alone. The picture on the bottom left shows many different herbs and spices they would use to create their natural remedies, and on the right is pictured a modern church in the capital.
About 66% of the country's population lives in poverty, which severely limits their ability to receive care. Despite limited healthcare access, approximately 90% of Honduran children have had their childhood vaccinations, and life expectancy for Hondurans is around 71 years old. Leading causes of death in Honduras include heart disease, stroke, and interpersonal violence.
All right, I'm here with Oscar, who's my fraternity brother at Kentucky, and I'm going to ask him some questions about healthcare in Honduras. What are some differences and similarities between healthcare in the U.S. and Honduras?
It's very expensive if you don't have insurance. That's one similarity, and the other one is that even though here they charge you a lot for maybe if some stitches there, it's like you don't pay anything.
In Honduras?
Okay. But it's like it's a surgery. You need insurance. If not, it's very expensive.
Okay, okay. And then how expensive are medical costs compared to the U.S.?
In dollars, maybe here you get charged $200 if you get stitches up or if you cut yourself.
Uh-huh.
There's like 200 and bit, which is like $10.
Really? That's a lot cheaper. Okay, and then how does care compare between like the different classes in Honduras, like upper and lower?
I mean, if you are high class or maybe high middle,
Mm-hmm.
you get more chances to get insurance because they know that you can afford it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that expensive. But if you are on the lower classes, it's really hard. Like maybe you have diabetes and you need insulin, it's almost impossible for you to get it.
Okay, okay. And then finally, do you have any like special stories or general stories about like an experience where you've gotten healthcare in Honduras when you were there?
Maybe one time when I had dengue,
Mm-hmm.
just like a mosquito virus that was going on, my family was like not that rich at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
and they had to send me to the general hospital, and I almost died of
Really?
it because the healthcare was so bad. I mean, clinics are way better than like general hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but they had to send me to the general one, and it was horrible. There was a ton of other kids there. I think one of them died.
Oh, wow.
It was really bad.
Oh,
It was
my.
a horrible experience. But by a miracle, I just got
Mhm.
better.
Good, good. Well, thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Anytime.
The healthcare system in place currently is struggling to provide for all of its residents. The shortage of providers in the country makes it especially hard to allow everyone to have access to equal and timely care. A boost in the education system and a push for more providers in the country would make it easier to give residents access to care and allow for a healthcare reform to make it easier to obtain a universal healthcare system.